Hello everyone. Today on World Environment Day, we'll take a look at how this year's theme, climate action, is not just about individual action, but rather how organizations will play a leading part in our collective effort to safeguard our planet. Climate action is rapidly moving from sustainability departments into boardrooms. According to the World Economic Forum's Global Risks Assessment, environmental risks and extreme weather events continue to rank among the most significant long term risks facing economies and businesses worldwide. For organizations, climate action is no longer simply about environmental stewardship. It is increasingly about resilience, competitiveness, and long term value creation. India has committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2070 and reducing emissions intensity by 45% by 2030. But this transition is also one of the largest economic transformation opportunities in the country's history. Niti Aayog estimates that India will require approximately US dollars 22.7 trillion in cumulative investment to achieve its net zero pathway by 2070. This investment will shape future industries, infrastructure, mobility systems, and energy markets. The climate transition will not be delivered by governments alone. Businesses influence energy consumption, supply chains, transportation networks, manufacturing systems, and capital allocation decisions. In many sectors, the pace of decarbonization will depend on corporate action rather than policy alone. Consider the evolution of alternative fuels. As industries seek practical pathways to reduce emissions, biofuels have emerged as one of India's fastest growing clean energy sectors. India now has access to nearly 500 million metric tons of potential biofuel feedstock, creating significant opportunities for domestic energy production. At the same time, the Indian biofuels market has already reached approximately US dollars 6.2 billion and is projected to exceed US dollars 10 billion by 2034. One of the strongest examples of climate action at scale is India's ethanol blending program. From blending levels of just over 1% a decade ago, India has now achieved approximately 19% ethanol blending, moving rapidly towards its 20% target. According to government estimates, achieving 20% blending requires more than 1,000 crore liters of ethanol annually, driving investments across agriculture, processing, logistics, and fuel infrastructure. Climate action is often viewed as a cost. Increasingly, it is becoming a source of economic opportunity. The World Economic Forum estimates that the global green transition could result in a net gain of approximately 9.6 million jobs by 2030, while demand for green skills continues to grow faster than talent availability. For businesses, this represents not only a sustainability challenge but a workforce and innovation opportunity. The next phase of climate action will be defined not only by renewable energy development but by how businesses manage climate risk, decarbonize value chains, and access sustainable finance. This transition is already underway. According to Climate Bonds Initiative, India's cumulative sustainable debt issuance has crossed US dollars 55 billion, reflecting growing investor demand for climate aligned investments. At the same time, new regulations such as carbon markets, climate disclosures, and supply chain reporting requirements are pushing sustainability from a reporting function to a business function. Organizations that invest early in climate governance, decarbonization, and ESG integration will be better positioned to attract capital, strengthen resilience, and remain competitive in a rapidly evolving global economy. Climate action is no longer a question of environmental responsibility alone. It is becoming a question of business resilience, economic opportunity, and future competitiveness. This World Environment Day, the challenge before us is not whether change is possible. All the latest technologies are amongst us. Now, the challenge is how quickly we can scale it. because the organizations that lead the climate transition today will help shape the economy of tomorrow. Thank you.